Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and this morning I have just woken up. Wife is taking care of the baby. I've already changed the diaper, done the business, and she is now taking care of the kid, and I've got a few minutes to myself, so I thought about making a video, and I just woke up this morning and saw that Paddy did a video, Paddy's Potato Peelers did a video on basically, and I love it, his posh knives that he has, that he uses, like knives that you use for everyday tasks. They are not going to be knives that are in a display case, okay? And I was like, what a great video. I'm gonna do a video as well on the nice knives that I use the most. So cheers to everybody that is alive after the holidays and who has made it through being with family. God forbid anybody talked about politics and the past. I'm so ready for the new year. So if you've made it through the holidays this year, you deserve a good cup of coffee. So or cup of tea, whatever you guys prefer. So whew, man, it was not difficult for me, but planning the holidays was a little difficult. So, but let's get on to the video. Let's talk about nice knives that I use. So you may see that these are pretty high end. I mean, this one here goes for about $200 easy. Okay. Now, I have not owned a Chris Reeve in a while. I've handled a few other ones, and you know, there is a point of depreciation, and there's only so far okay, now you can have a Todd Fisher knife, and I mean, those are like thousands of dollars, and those are on a completely different level of like usability. I mean, those are pieces of art. Those are, I wouldn't put those as user knives. There are people that have like Andrew Demko's that use them, okay? And I think he prices his stuff affordably. I'm not able to get one of his knives in time when he releases them. That's my only problem. I would have one on the table. I just never am able to get one when they release. So, and I keep checking his site, and he never has anything up for sale. So, oh well. But for me, about $250 and below is where I kind of settled at with my high end. Okay, about $70 to $250. Okay, those I start thinking about my money. I start thinking about how I'm going to save for that, or what I'm going to sell for that. So for this one here, I got paid, and I said, this is going to be my Christmas. So I didn't really think about this one. I just said to myself, this is the one I want, and this is the one I'm going to get. So I have used this quite a bit. I haven't used it in the kitchen just because of the steel, but I've been using this for boxes, packaging, and I mean, Maximat, and saying, oh, its edge retention's incredible. I've been cutting open blister packs and packaging. That's not really testing this steel. Testing this steel would be cutting wood all day, would be cutting heavy rope, cutting very, very tough materials. That would be actually testing this stuff properly. But that's a heavy, expensive knife that I use. And I mean, I haven't had a chance to use it for some of these more challenging tasks yet, but I'm excited too. The one that I do use for abuse is the Benchmade Freak or Super Freak. And this one I have cut drywall, I have cut carpet, I have cut wood, I mean heavy pieces of wood. I have used this for very torturous tasks, and it has performed incredibly well. And I find that this steel, the M4 steel, yes, Maximat is a better steel, but M4 I have found to be a little more workable. What I mean is I could strop this up just with a little bit of stropping paste, and a strip of leather, and it can go back to a working edge. I don't usually put this at a hair cutting edge. I keep this really at a pretty rough edge, and then I just add a very mild micro bevel, so just to even out the edge just a little bit, so it slices. But the edge on this has stayed. I've only sharpened this once, and I've had this thing for almost 3 years, so it's fantastic. So that's one that I use heavily. The Kershaw Link in 20 CV. I love Kershaw's Stonewash because it hides use. I really, really love their Stonewash because it does hide use. I mean, you can see the slashes and use on here, but the Stonewash really hides all of it. I have added some jimping here, so this is not original. I added that, but this is one that I really enjoy using. I haven't yet needed to sharpen it, but I'm getting close. I've used this a lot for packages and cardboard. I love the speed safe on this. It makes just getting it out of the pocket quick, and then closing it up, and then in the pocket it goes. It's wonderful, wonderful. This is another knife that I use. I'm not saying heavily. I am not cutting down tons and tons of cardboard. I am not cutting down pieces of wood every day, but I do use my knives, and I try to use them in almost any predicament I may be in. I've used this in the kitchen, cutting down boxes, opening packages, cutting up carpet, and I haven't had any problems with it. This is actually a recent acquisition of mine, but I've been using it quite a bit, and this is the Viper Storm, and the holidays came upon me, and this has been opening up a lot of boxes. So but this uses M390 steel. It is a Rick Hinderer design by Viper Knives, and this thing, fidget factor is through the roof on this. I love it because it's got a thumb stud, and it reacts well with a light switch opening and a push button switch opening. So it's very fidgety, and the smoothness on it's incredible. But I love this knife for the fact that it's a 3-inch folder. In the hand, it's fantastic ergos, great jimping. The jimping is actually crowned jimping. So like this raises at a circle, and so that makes this a very high-rised set of jimping that your thumb can actually really dig into, which I love. Gives you a lot of control. And it's got a nice thick point on it, which allows you to do some I would say a little more torturous I'll say acts with the knife than you are with any other knives on this table, maybe except for one. So that is one that I've been using, the Spyderco Spidey Chef. I love this thing. This thing is fantastic. I've still yet to sharpen this thing. I only do micro bevels on it because I want to keep this forever. So of course I'll have to re-apex the knife and do a new grind when it actually really dulls out, but lately I've been keeping this nice and razor sharp using my fine Spyderco bench stone, and I just do a few passes, and that usually keeps this all sharpened up, and then I strop it out. But this thing is fantastic. Yes, it shows wear, and yes, the satin finish will show wear, but man, this thing can do anything. This is probably up there with the top 5 if I only... Ooh, that's a video I could do. Do I want to do that? Man, if I could only have 5 knives. Oh man, that would be hard. I know that Nick Shabazz has done a video if he could only have 1. I don't think I could do that, but if I could only have 5, this would probably have to be in there. So there's the Spyderco Spidey Chef. Another one that I use, and this one I use for a lot of wood cutting. And I am going to work out this choil just a little bit. But, oops, we got a little bit of surface rust showing up on this one. I'll have to get that one cleaned, but you can see just a little bit of rust there, and then there, right on the tip. But this one here is CPMX40 Rex 45, and I use this for a lot of woodworking. Whittling and woodworking, but this knife gives me a ton of control. I can do a lot of controlled cuts with this knife, and the Rex 45 by Crucible really allows me to keep that tough edge on my knife while I'm doing some woodworking. So this is one that I use a lot. I don't use it really for packages. I don't know why. Whenever I'm working with wood, I usually grab this just because it's going to give me that grip that I need to be able to do those heavy tasks. The Benchmade Osborn. This one I use a lot just for utility. Cutting wires, stripping wires, cutting small pieces of wood, little handy tasks around the house, maybe separating something from another part of something where a heavy tip is needed. This one here really does fit the bill. Recently, I was on Instagram, and I can't remember the user, and I'm not probably going to look him up because he probably doesn't want to be named, but he got the recent Blade HQ exclusive with the M4 steel and JG10 handles, and he gave it a horrible review. I was very surprised. It was his first Benchmade. In the hand, he would do this, and it sounded like a rattlesnake. The blade was going back and forth and hitting the scales. Then when he would open it, it was sluggish. When he would close it, it was hugging the left side, the right side of the show side, I would say, of the knife. And the screws were all proud and not tightened down. And when he tried to tighten them down, they still sat a little proud. So I was very surprised by the quality control on that one. I'm sorry if anybody else has gotten a bad one of those, but this knife here is not a lemon. This one is more of a peach. It's perfect, and it is fantastic. And I use this more for utility purposes than anything else. This is not a slicer. This is not something I use in the kitchen. This is something I use down and dirty with. And I've been really happy with the steel on this. This is S30V steel from Benchmade, but it's very tough. I mean, it's been a little bit of a challenge to actually get this thing to get scuffed up and scratched up, but they do like they don't do a satin finish on their blades. They do more of like a milled pattern. If you can see those lines, it's more of a milling pattern than satin finishing. And I think that may aid in the ability to keep scratches and scuffs off. But yeah, it's a fantastic knife. Then my trusted Spyderco Ladybug in stainless steel. This one I have been really abusing, and this one probably gets abused more than any of these. I'm not cutting drywall with it, of course not, but this one here, oh god, it's good coffee. This one here, whenever I don't want to have to like pull out this knife, cut something that's small, and then put it away, I'm just like, I reach in my my left pocket, not my back left, front left pocket, and I just grab this, you know, whoop, there you go, close it, and then in the pocket it goes. This is really all you need for those small cutting tasks during the day. Envelopes, packages, just really this is all you need. It's not really a crazy strong knife. I'm pretty sure you could probably put some serious weight on it before this bar would break for the lock, but it will do the job. And the tip on this has actually done a very good job of withstanding some abuse from me, at least. I've used this for some prying, and you're probably sitting there, don't pry with this. I'm not prying like 2 4x4s apart, you know. I'm just doing some light prying, and it's usually 2 pieces of small wood that may be together because they may be either fastened together by a tassel or a zip tie, or oh goodness, those real fibrous ties they use to hold cardboard together. Sometimes I have to get in between those to cut them, and this has really held up well to that. Now granted, I would probably, if I could pry it apart, go for something like this. This is a Griffin pocket tool pry bar, and I would probably go for that, pry them off and then cut, but this is just quicker, and so far it has done a really good job. But I just wanted to do a quick video. It's been a while since I've done a video, I just thought that was such a cool thought. These nice knives that are in our collection, and which ones do we actually use the most of? Like most at any time. There may be a few that I've excluded, but I'm including the ones that I gravitate towards for very specific uses and heavy duty uses. So thank you so much, Paddy Potato Peelers, for the idea. I'm sorry I stole it, but I mean, these are the ones that I've been using. I mean, I really enjoy these knives for some heavy duty use, and they are built for it. I mean, just because a knife is $200, 200, you know, or 180. I think these are $180, you know, 200. I think these things are almost 230 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's one of you that is always posting links to knives that I am doing videos on, so thank you so much. You can get the pricing from him. But sometimes we get a nice knife and we're like, you know what? I don't want this one to be in a display case. I want this one to be used. I want it to be loved. I want it to be beaten. And sometimes those knives are actually built for it. You know, you will get in every once in a while a case where you buy a knife and it's expensive, but it's not built well. It's just a showpiece. And some of these, sure, some of these may be showpieces for somebody. You know, I have met somebody that he has a Spidey chef, and it's his grail. I mean, he doesn't use it very much. But yes, this is definitely a knife you could definitely use and abuse. So thanks again, Paddy, for the great idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm going to be trying to film some more videos soon, but if you guys enjoyed this format, me just sipping coffee, talking about knives I like, let me know. And I will try to keep that format going, but if you like the spontaneous, just turn on the camera, let's hear what you have to say videos, I will keep doing those as well. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this video and just spending some time with me. And if you have survived the holidays, comment below and just say, I survived holidays of 2020. So thank you guys so much. Hope to bring you another video very soon, and have a great day. New Year's are coming up, so woohoo, I'm ready for 2021. Hopefully I can get another video out before year's end. But thank you guys so much. Have a great day or night wherever you may be.